Welcome to CCASA's Public Policy Podcast. It's a holiday weekend, so hopefully folks are looking forward to that. Just wanted to give a few updates. We did just finish our regional meetings where we were traveling around the state for some trainings and connecting with member programs. It was really fantastic, so thanks to everyone who came out and joined us for those meetings. I did just want to clarify a couple things that I talked about in the public policy updates at those regional meetings. One was involving the school discipline bill. There was a little bit of confusion about the status of that bill because it ended up being a part of the special session that we saw in Colorado, and we had first heard that that bill did not pass due to some of the timing that happened at this year's legislative session, but then we found out that it did. It was added as a last-minute amendment to a school finance bill. So that bill was able to pass sort of at the very last minute as a part of the special session. So because we were able to put in some language around working with victim advocates when available, being sure that schools are accommodating the needs of victims that are enrolled in our public schools, we feel really glad that that bill did finally pass, even if it was at the last minute. I also wanted to mention the task force on at-risk and elder adult victims will be convening in mid-July, so we are working with the Colorado Coalition Against Domestic Violence to ensure that there's a victim advocate representative on that task force, and that task force will be looking at the recommendation to create a mandatory reporting requirement for at-risk or elderly adults. So if that's an issue that you're interested in, I think there will be some policy changes happening over the next couple years in Colorado. Please feel free to contact us to learn more about those efforts. The reason I really wanted to do a podcast today was just to continually remind folks how important it is to contact your representatives at the federal level about the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act. For our Facebook friends out there, we've been posting lots of articles about, unfortunately, the really difficult situation we're seeing getting VAWA reauthorized at the federal level. I cannot stress how important it is for folks to contact their representatives. So after I'm done talking, you'll see a couple slides pop up. There were 4 representatives in Colorado who voted for the House Bill 4970. This bill was very concerning to us in that it really excluded some very critical components of VAWA by excluding LGBT victims, by limiting the use of U visas, by rolling back confidentiality protections for undocumented survivors, taking out some of the campus provisions, refusing to recognize tribal court authority to bring perpetrators to justice or for accountability for perpetrators who create violence against Native American survivors. There are also components that takes money from victim services providers and puts that towards more bureaucracy. So we were just really unhappy with the House version of VAWA. As I mentioned, there were 4 Colorado representatives who voted for it. So their names are going to pop up after I finish talking, and if you live in their district, it is so important that you contact them and tell them the House version that they supported is not the real VAWA. It rolls back for protections for victims, and as a service provider or as a survivor, it's really important that we have a comprehensive VAWA. So we'll also have up a brief message that you can send them by calling or emailing or faxing their office. We also encourage folks to make meetings. Those House representatives are on recess this week, so it's a great time to meet with them. You do not have to be an expert on VAWA. It's about 200 pages long, the House version, so I don't expect folks to know it backwards and forwards. Really, what they need to hear is about what you do as a service provider or your experience as a survivor and how important a comprehensive VAWA is for your work. So don't feel like you need to be able to quote VAWA. You just need to be able to tell them how important the Violence Against Women Act is in your community and to their constituency. So please take action. Let us know when you take action by posting it on our Facebook page. And as always, feel free to contact our office if you need some help with setting up a meeting or coming up with your talking points. Again, forvawa.org is a great resource, and I really ask folks to continue making those calls and visits and emails. So thanks again and have a great weekend.